it do? You're off in God's country with Reid
and Dan Isbell,
also known as the Brothers Hunt, where we take a weekly drive to the intersection of country music and the outdoors. Two things that go together like Space Jam and kids that were born in the late 80s.
Or Rhinestones and Cowboy Boots, produced by MeatEater and iHeart Podcast.
We're going to sit down with Ann Wilson today. She's new on the scene in country music.
Killing it.
Yeah, she had a multi-platinum song, Let Me Tell You About My Jesus, that kind of projected her into the where she's at right now.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, those songs to me seem real uplifting, positive vibes. I just like her light, man. She's got a great aura around her.
Also strong though. Like they'll hit you in the face. It's a lot of big vocal, big music. It's fun to listen to. Her new album Rebel is out right now. Go check it out. She's awesome.
Not really rooted in hunting much, but understands it.
Grew up on a farm.
Family into it. Should be an interesting conversation.
Yeah, so go check that one out, and thanks for hanging out in God's country. All right, hey, we're back.
Bow.
You're listening to the God's Country podcast. Me and Dan we've been on a little
hiatus,
a little break.
For
we
sure.
haven't recorded one in a while, but we've still been putting them out. And we're what number are we on now? 10. Number 10 episode. Wait, we put out 15 episodes? That's crazy.
Yeah.
We have Miss Ann Wilson in the building, and you may know her as the singer of the multi-platinum song Let Me Tell You About My Jesus.
Aww.
Took me to church this morning, I'm not gonna lie. I listened to it like 3 times.
Same.
I love
Stuck
it.
in traffic.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
And she came in looking, smelling better than any guest we've had yet, and we've got to show you the kicks.
Yeah, look
I
at
don't know
these
if-
boots.
Dang, hold your hand over
I
your
know.
eyes because they're so blinging.
sparkly.
They're blinged out.
Have you ever stepped in a mud hole in those?
I haven't. I got to be careful with these boots. Now, I've
That would
got
be a problem.
55 pairs of cowboy boots.
Do you?
Actually.
Like literally 55?
Like literally 55 pairs.
Where do you put them?
I have a storage unit for all
You
my
have a
comfort.
storage unit for your shoes?
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about, man.
If
got
you ain't a
too
pro,
many.
you ain't a pro till you have a storage
know.
unit for your boots. 55. I've got 2 pair and I only wear 1.
Really? You've
Cowboy
only got
boots.
2?
I've only got 2.
Well, the thing is
I'm not
like,
I'm not a cowboy.
well, I've
as you
got
can
like
tell.
a few that I wear like on my farm
Yeah.
that would get dirty, but then like most of them are just like for, performing it on stage and stuff.
I feel
Ooh,
that.
she
That I
said
like
the
to
F word
keep
already.
pretty.
We love a farm around here. We love
I
a
do
farm on
too.
this
And we're going to talk
podcast.
to that. We're going to talk to Ann about her new music that just dropped. Her farm life, I guess you could call it. But let's catch up with the listeners on where, dude, we're turkey hunting.
Oh yeah, it's
We've been turkey
first
hunting.
week of turkey season here in Tennessee.
And it usually is not because I think this is the 3rd year or 2nd year they've done it, but they pushed it back a couple weeks because the numbers got a little low a few years ago. So they moved season back 2 weeks. So usually we've been hunting for a couple weeks now, but it was opening weekend this past weekend, and we weren't successful. We didn't have any luck.
But we didn't try real hard. I
Yeah.
gotta be honest. We just enjoy kind of getting out there early season and just kind of sitting.
Yeah.
Just listening to birds, see what they're doing.
I know that sounds crazy, but
No,
like,
I know, I get it. Are you guys gonna go again?
Oh yeah.
like a
Yeah,
million
you love
times.
it.
Oh yeah.
Is
Yeah.
this your favorite type of hunting?
No, I feel like I'm being interviewed, but that's great.
I'm
no,
over here too, guys.
Yeah. No, deer season, and I was telling my wife. Do you know that's my wife?
No, I did not know that. Okay,
sorry.
Cool.
I always have to tell people like, yeah. We were having dinner the other night, and she was like, I don't feel like you're like as jazzed up about turkey hunting as you usually are. And I was like, no, I am. I was like, but for me, turkey, like all I need during turkey season is that one morning where they're gobbling their heads off, they pitch down, they strut,
Have you ever been? Have you ever seen it happen?
No, I've never been turkey
It's
hunting.
really a beautiful thing. I mean, it's
Yeah, it
outside
really is.
of like, and I think that's probably where we're at as hunters is we more enjoy the beauty of the woods waking up and the sounds
the booty of the woods.
and going with our dad. Our dad is just like, he's probably
That's awesome.
late 60s at this point.
Yeah.
So he's just we're just enjoying really
Yeah,
time
and
with
that's
him,
that-
more than
that-
shooting something.
That's a good way to say it. Is like when we found out he was going to go with us, we piled up in Dan's Ranger and went behind his house and sat on a tree all morning and just talk shop, and just listen.
Watch deer come out.
Watch deer, yeah, and just sit there with our dad. And so it's not like we're getting to a point where as a young hunter, you're real hungry to go after them, and you want to beat the woods up and go find people say, "Well, get mad at them," to try to go get them. But man, we're long past that.
See,
That's awesome.
see little Ricky over here.
Yeah, that's a little. Say what's up to little Ricky.
So that's how
He's gobbling at you.
That's how they look, right? Like when they're gobbling. Let's give us a gobble, Ricky. Let's see how it's going this morning. All right, now you try.
That was a real bad.
Oh
one.
gosh, I cannot.
You just do your mouth like this.
Come on, you can do it. That's it. Come on, you can do it. Give us a shot.
Okay, wait, how did you do it?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good. You gotta get that warm up one out of the way.
Dabba. Yeah,
That sounds like Flintstones. Remember that? Yeah. Anyway, you're probably too young for that. Anyway, that's what they do when they hit the ground. They gobble and they stick their neck out. They go, and
That's crazy.
it's to attract the hens to them. And so,
and then that's when you shoot them?
well, kind of.
Okay.
This is great. So what happens is when they're in the tree in the mornings, they usually all go up to roost together.
they roost is what they call it. They that's what they're
Okay.
like. They're
Fly
home
up
in a
to the
tree.
top.
They sleep in a tree.
So they
Okay.
all go up, right?
Got by
in
coyotes.
the mornings. So this is the only time of the year that the hens, females, are receptive, if you will, to the males. So what happens is the male will gobble in order to bring the hens to him, right? So they come. It's almost like ladies.
Yeah, a gobble is,
You
what's
know
up,
what I mean?
ladies?
Yeah.
That's what he
Okay.
said.
So the hens come.
Just like that.
They want to breed right now. They want to lay a clutch of eggs, right? So
Clutch. Nice word.
thanks. So they'll breed. The hens will hang around, and then the hens will go either lay eggs if they've already laid. They'll sit on their nest in order to warm the eggs up to get you know how that works. So what happens is as season goes on, those hens start distancing themselves from the gobbler. So he gets more desperate. So he'll start going, gobbling more and trying to.
Yeah.
And they're like, nah, man, we're good. Like, we're going to the mall today. You can find yourself somebody else. So what happens is you're trying to kind of reverse the roles and call that gobbler to him by going, kind of making hand sounds. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Now give us a hand sound. Go.
Oh gosh.
I'm just kidding. You don't have to. I'm just.
She's. I love how you ask me. You're like, you know what I'm talking about. She's like, yeah.
Yeah.
So what happened to us Saturday morning is the birds that we were hunting were on top of this ridge, and they already had their ladies. Like they were they call it henned up. So like they had their hens with them, and there's no if gobblers have hens with them that they haven't bred yet, and they're trying to talk into, they ain't coming to you. Like you're just gonna sit there and listen to them all day. Like you're not
Okay.
calling them off that ridge.
Yeah.
Clear or no clear on how turkey hunting works?
I got it.
All right.
I
All
got
right.
it.
5
Do you
minute lesson.
go turkey hunting?
I haven't been invited.
Oh.
That is so awful.
Dang.
Right there.
Wow.
Okay, well, we'll just move on.
You gonna invite her now, or are you gonna keep
Yo,
going
of
by-
course.
you
Yeah,
gonna keep going by
I
yourself?
guess. I guess I'm gonna invite her. She's never said, "Hey, will you invite me to go turkey hunting?"
Oh, so you have to ask to be invited now? Is that how the y'all's relationship works?
I guess. But I feel like that's also annoying when your wife's like, please take me.
Mega annoying. Yeah.
It's mega annoying. But it's also turkey hunting aside. I was driving here this morning to podcast, and it's like the switch is flipped on spring. It feels like there were tons. First time I've worn a short sleeve shirt to town this year. There were 1 million people walking up and down Music Row. It's like feels like it's like 75 degrees. It's
beautiful.
Feels like we're there.
Yeah.
Yesterday
like
was
we're there.
fun.
Thank Jesus. I'm so excited.
Amen. No doubt. Fish are biting. Dad caught a 7-pounder the other day on the bed, full of eggs.
You got ponds on the farm, the family farm?
We've got one. Yep.
Fish in it?
Fish in it.
My brother actually put the fish in there. And then I don't know if y'all know this, but he passed away in 2017.
Oh, sorry.
So we were fishing like a few months ago, and we realized like, wow, like these fish he literally put in this pond.
Yeah, man.
And it was so cool.
Already.
I know. It was
Jeez.
cool. It was really
Enjoying the fruits of his labor
cool.
now.
Yeah,
That's
7 years
so
later.
cool,
I
man.
know.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So did y'all grow up on that farm together?
No, so we grew up in Lexington, but then the farm's like 2 hours south of there. And it's in this small town where my dad grew up. And so my granddad owns 700 acres.
Come on.
Jeez, come on.
What town
Granddad.
is it?
It's right outside of Corbin, Kentucky.
Okay.
And it's so beautiful. It's perfect. It's just rolling hills. And we used to have like cattle and horses and everything, but then now we just, we don't really have any animals on there right now. But
Yeah.
we had 500 acres. And then I was at my granddad's house like a couple years ago, and he comes out of like his office and he was like, guys, I just found in like the will or whatever from like his great granddad, or no, it was his granddad.
So this
that
is
we
your
have-
granddad. And
Yes.
you're talking about his granddad.
Yes.
So 4 or 5 generations.
Yeah, I'm the
there.
5th generation.
Gotcha.
That we have 200 more acres that we didn't know about.
He just found 200
Yes.
acres.
Merry Christmas.
And it was attached.
Yeah. And we were like,
Sheesh.
wow, we had no idea. It was crazy. So then we got to like go see 200 acres more of land that we never
Dang,
seen
how
before.
cool is
A couple
that?
years ago.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I know. I'm so grateful.
Yeah,
It's beautiful.
That's tough to have nowadays. I mean, to acquire that much contiguous
Oh,
land.
yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
almost got to be granddad
Yeah.
dadded in.
Yeah, it's so nice. And then my brother's buried on the farm. So then now it's like we have like a little like
Man.
grave site there that we'll all kind of get buried out one day.
Oh
So
yeah,
Wow,
for sure.
man.
Man.
it's
That's
really
special.
sweet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's very
That's-
special.
that's
Mm-hmm.
special.
You and your brother close?
Yeah, we were really close. And I have a sister too. She's like the middle one. I'm the youngest. He was the oldest.
So there's 3 of y'all.
3 of us. So he loved the farm. Like he was a big hunter. Like he loved duck hunting and deer hunting, and he loved fishing. And so he was on the farm like literally every weekend when he would finish college and, drive down for the weekend and stuff. And we would always go together. And so the farm, it was like his happiest place in the whole world. So when he passed away, we were like, we didn't want to bury him in Lexington because it didn't really make sense. So we were like, we need to kind of create our own gravesite on the farm because there wasn't anything there beforehand. And so we did, and my dad kind of built it all up and like put the fence around it. And so now it's just special getting to go back because every time we go to the farm, we feel him so close because he like that was his place, that he loved. So yeah, it's really special.
Dude,
She's getting me.
lay me in my ground, man.
No doubt.
Like
Yeah.
lay
No
me
doubt.
when I'm
No
good
doubt.
and gone. Like if you burn me or whatever.
What?
Like just I'm
Who's
saying
burning
like
you?
I'm just saying like if you decide to go to ashes, like I kind of don't want to be buried. I think I want to be cremated, but spread me on my farm.
You know
Or
what mama
lay me
says?
in
My
farm.
mama says,
What does my mama say?
well, our mama. We have the same
yeah.
mama.
That's
We're
right.
brothers.
Our
Yeah, I
whole,
think
our,
that's
our
it.
whole lives.
Yeah.
So she said, one day I was talking to her about that, and I said, hey, maybe, because I don't want to burden my family with having to deal with me. You know what I mean? So I'm like, yeah, just cremate me and spread me out or whatever. She's like, well, when Jesus comes back, you can't resurrect if you're cremated. You got to have the bones come up. And I was like, Mom, I'm not sure how literal. I think I'll be all right either way. You know how it is, man. Those Baptist
know.
mamas, dude,
I know.
they take it literal. And hey, some of it is literal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Who's to say it's
Totally.
not?
Who's
Yeah.
to say it's not?
Yeah.
Not
I
me.
don't know.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
ain't saying
that's
that.
up to the big man
Okay,
upstairs.
so don't cremate me. I'm good. Just leave me my bones.
But yeah, that's special. Do you get to go back a lot?
Not a lot. Like maybe once every few months because it's like when I go to Lexington to see my family, it's still another 2 hours.
Yeah.
So like depending on what I've got going on, but yeah, I mean, like one day I want to like live there full time. When I have kids and stuff, like I kind of want that to be like my.
Jordan,
Happy
she's from Kentucky and from Marshall County and grew up on a chicken farm. Me and Dan went to Milwaukee this past week, which is funny because I thought Milwaukee was in Michigan. So like the whole time, which I kind of knew it wasn't, but I wasn't sure exactly what state it
You
was
thought Milwaukee was in Michigan?
in. No, I just didn't know like it was in Wisconsin. And so the joke was all week that, bro, when I asked you where Milwaukee was, you said in Seattle. So well, don't even make fun of me not knowing where Milwaukee was. But the whole joke the whole week was like, man, Michigan's awesome up here. Like we literally didn't know.
We
where-
ran it
didn't
into
know.
the
Yeah, we ran into
ground,
the
dude. It was
So
it's
we
kinda
were
annoying.
gone, and then turkey season, and so my wife took the kids back, and I've got a 2-year-old and an 8-month-old. The little girl's
Aw,
2, Griffin,
so
and my
cute.
8-month-old's Oak, little boy. So she went back for the first time, just with them, right, for the first time, and got to spend some time on the farm. And she called me, and she was like, "Hey, I've got to do this more because like it is good for my soul to be on this farm." To watch our 2-year-old play in the creek in a diaper, like with boots on, and like it brought back memories of her out there, and it's just such a special place for her. And when I read that about you, it kind of like drew the the coincidence that y'all both are from that spot, and and it's probably that
awesome.
same thing for you looking back at that place, how special it is, and
Yeah, it's so sweet. I feel like it is so good for the soul, like just going back, and it's such a slow pace of living too that I feel like with my career and everything that's happened, everything's gone so fast that like sometimes I'm like, when I go there, I'm like, I can't believe that this was my life at like one point, like the slowness of it. But it's like so refreshing to go back and visit.
And the fact that you want to get back to that,
Yeah,
like you want to,
totally. Yeah.
she talked about the same thing, putting a little cabin on there just because Yeah, it's just refreshing.
It really is.
It's important too to have that spot, where when you get there, they're not immediately talking about your career or what you got going on. It's more like, hey, you want to go down to the pond? You want to go see brother? You want to go walk the fences? That's special, man. Ground is special, and again, it's hard to come by. So
it really is. Yeah.
Glad you have a spot to kind of retreat to.
Me too.
When'd you move down?
So I signed a lease at an apartment in 2020 right before COVID happened, which was like the worst time ever.
Oh, nice. Congratulations on 2 years of sitting in your brand new apartment by yourself.
Yep. And I graduated high school in 2020, so 4 years ago.
Okay.
And I moved then, but then like officially have been living here for 3 full years.
Gotcha.
So not that
Just
long.
immediately knew you wanted to do music, or you just kind of walked into it?
No.
Did you always
So
sing?
I wanted to be an astronaut when I was a kid.
Okay.
An astronaut.
Yes.
You want to go to the moon?
I wanted to go to the moon.
What
I wanted
sparked
to
that?
be one of those ones that went to Mars or whenever they're going to do that and not
For
come back.
real?
Like actually.
Okay.
I love space. I think it's so cool.
I'm always curious when someone likes something like that, outside of our world, I guess you could say.
Literally.
I think it just fascinates me that like we live in this little ball in space and there's like this whole other world like up there.
Okay.
Like, do you guys ever think about that?
Yeah, but then I
No.
immediately not think about it because it freaks me out.
Yeah. Well, for me, it like fascinates me. Like, I want to be one of the people that sees it with my own eyes.
Not me. I'm the exact opposite of you. I want to be one of the ones that never sees it and
never
chills
sees
at
it?
home.
Yeah, like I'm cool if I never go to Europe. Like, you know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah, yeah.
Like, I just want to stay where I'm at. People are like, you want to travel? I'm like, nah, I think I just want to stay at home.
Yeah.
I want to travel to my dad's about 3 minutes away and then travel back to my house and just kind of hang out there.
But astronaut, you don't hear that a lot. Especially
Yeah,
like from somebody
I
as
know.
young as you, even
I know.
now. Like, okay, like where did that come from? What was
Well, I was always kind of like naturally gifted at like math and science, and I was horrible at like writing papers in English, which now is like I literally write songs for a living.
Yeah.
But I was really bad at math, or I was really bad at writing, but really good at math. And I guess like I remember being like a little girl and just being fascinated with space. Like I wanted to watch all the space movies and I wanted to learn about it. And then I had like a class in 7th grade, I think, an astronomy class. And normally you don't take astronomy at most schools, but our school did it. And the teacher was really good. And I think that kind of like helped. Like she like taught us so much about it and I was fascinated. And then I guess freshman year of high school, I kind of decided I was going to do it. So I started taking like some extra classes.
You
trying
decided
to
in
get
freshman you were going to be
good.
an astronaut?
Yeah. I mean, I like in my heart, obviously. Like,
Okay. I mean, I'm just saying, you're starting to
Ambition,
take
like
son.
kind of starting I was like, I'm going to do it. Like I've decided I want to do it. And I had researched everything at NASA and you have to be between a certain height range. And I'm like super short. So I fit the height range. And then you have to have 20/20 vision, which I do. So you can't wear glasses. You can't have contacts.
You really researched this.
Yeah. I went through all like the different like physical requirements, at least I met.
That sounds deeper than just like a Google check. You know what I mean? Like, can I be an astronaut? Oh,
Yeah.
over
Like-
200 pounds, I'm out.
like a passion?
Yeah, I'm out immediately.
Yeah.
I've been out in
was like
5th grade.
It was like a passion.
Yeah.
And then my brother died that summer going into my sophomore year of high school. So he died in a car accident downtown Lexington. He was going through an intersection and the light was turning yellow, red. It was like a really small little intersection. Speed limit was 25 and somebody was going 60 the other way. And I think what happened was he saw him and then swerved to try to get away and hit a pole. And the pole, like, he was in like this big truck and the pole like didn't like move at all. And then his truck was like demolished and he died on impact. And thankfully he died right in front of the fire station, like right in front of it. So they ran out immediately. And a cop was at the intersection.
Wow.
So saw it all happen, saw that he had died. There was no chance of him making it to the hospital or anything. And 3 hours later, we found out about it, and they came to our house to tell us and stuff in the middle of the night, which was super tragic.
That is tragic.
We were obviously devastated, and up until that point, I had never sang in front of anyone before. I played piano because my mom forced all 3 of us to take piano lessons.
Forced it.
Like literally had no choice. I hated piano.
Wait, are you happy that she did that or not? Because we
Well, I
both
am-
have young kids.
I literally talked about this last week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I am now. I'm thankful and I see why. It does work your brain. The other day I was playing piano for fun, like for the first time in a while, like a classical piano. I'm not talking about like you know, like
Chopin.
show piano, like
Gotcha.
for a show, but like actual piano, like sheet music. And it works your brain like nothing else does. Like
Really?
it's actually
I
really
can
good
see
for
that.
your brain.
Wow.
So I see like why she wanted us to take
So
it.
you're reading
for
and
our,
playing. You're not just ear playing. You're
no,
like,
I can't play by ear. I play by, you know,
see, I can't
reading
play
the-
by sight. I only
Yeah.
play by ear. And
Yeah.
there's a lot of times I really wish I could read it, and I cannot
Yeah.
at all.
But were you
good.
like miserable when you were little? Were you like, I don't want to go to piano
Yes.
lessons, Mom?
Like she would force us to like practice a certain amount of hours, you know, each week or whatever. And like
Yeah.
I hated it. But like I'm glad she did it now because it worked. The other two didn't use it, but I'm obviously use it now and
Yeah.
I'm grateful. But so then he died and I was playing piano one day, like a couple days after he passed away. I was playing this worship song. And I thought I was alone in the house. I had no idea my parents were in the house. Or I think actually just my mom was. But anyway, she comes in the room crying. And she was like, Anne, like, she just heard me sing this song to God. And like in my private time. She's like, Anne, I had no idea you could sing. Like, what is this
She didn't.
voice?
Your mom didn't.
No,
even
my mom and
know?
dad like didn't.
You really
like,
hit
I
it.
really.
You were really
Well,
going on this astronaut
I thought
thing.
I was like off. Like I didn't think I was a good singer. And also like I didn't have a passion. It's like if you don't have a passion to do something, like why would you
Yeah.
do it?
No,
know?
your passion was flying up to Jupiter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And when going back to that, when you said movies about space, you meant Space Jam, right?
No, I've never seen Space Jam.
What?
No.
You've never seen Space Jam?
No.
the greatest space movie of all time.
When did it come out?
The best astronaut
probably
movie of all
90.
time.
Like,
Probably 90s. No, she wasn't born.
No, yeah, I wasn't born until 2002.
That's what I'm saying.
No, you literally weren't
so
born.
yeah, I wasn't in the 1900s.
Space Jam
Go
is
go
an
back
animated.
and go back and watch the best astronaut movie of all time.
Okay,
Space
well.
Jam.
It's
Michael
an
Jordan.
animated movie.
You know who Michael Jordan
Michael
is?
Jordan and a bunch
Oh, it's
of
animated.
Martians. Well,
I don't like animated movies.
well, it goes back and forth.
Okay.
Like it's Bugs
It's not
Bunny. It's
like-
about basketball. It's not about space at all.
Oh, okay, got it.
She
See, I don't know
literally
anything about
doesn't
this.
know.
Jeez.
I don't know anything that happened in the 90s.
Do you know who Michael Jordan is?
Yes, I know who
Okay,
Michael
okay.
Jordan is.
Okay, he's in it.
Do you know who Bugs Bunny is?
Yes.
He's in
He's in it too. There you go.
Okay. You guys see
Space Jam is a really hard thing to explain. I
have
never
to watch
realized
it.
how hard it was to explain Space Jam.
I never had
Until
to
right now.
before. Yeah, I never
So I
had
think
to
Karl
before.
Malone's in it. You don't know who that
Bill
is?
Murray.
No.
Yeah.
I know who that is.
Yeah, Bill
There's a
Murray's
couple
in it.
like Martian monsters, but it's animated.
It's a great
and-
plot.
Yes,
They made a new one with LeBron James. I hadn't seen it. I'm never
It's
going
trash.
to.
They said it's
Yeah.
trash.
Okay, well, I'm going to watch it and I'll report back.
Perfect. I'd love
And
to
I'll
have
let
your
y'all know what I
feedback
think,
on
okay?
it. It's high quality entertainment. I would.
Great.
It's probably trash now. Actually, now that I think about it,
It's good. It's great.
It's still
no,
great?
it's still
Okay,
it's
good.
legendary.
I don't remember anything about it except that Michael Jordan was in it.
All right, back to what we were talking about. Were you so like
That should be a requirement. It's like 5 foot tall to 5'5". You have to have 20/20 vision. Have to have seen Space Jam
Jam.
within the
I
last
know.
10 years.
I'm probably like one of the only people that hasn't seen this movie.
No,
No,
we're just
yeah.
old now. We're
Yeah,
just old
we're-
now,
yeah.
and
Oh,
we're
okay.
still getting used to it because
Yeah.
we're just
and we're kind of
now
figuring it
coming-
out more
Yeah.
right
We're just
now.
coming
than
in
we
to
thought we
being
thought.
old. Speaking of just coming into being old, anybody try to do a cartwheel lately? Woo! Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. My daughter is 4, and she was like, "Daddy, will you teach me how to do a cartwheel?" I was like, "Yes, yes, I will." So we
Oh,
got
no.
the front yard. I'm like, so I get a rock and like back, forth, to get the momentum going, right? So I'm like, well, I got to do it.
Oh,
I'm
gosh.
saying I got to do it.
Yeah.
So I just cut a cartwheel. I was like, hey, not too bad. Wife thinks it's funny, starts filming. Cut another one. Cut another one. 3 cartwheels, same day.
Wow.
Chest has been hurting ever since. It's been a week. Chest and back, neck. Yeah,
Yeah.
Don't cut cartwheels when you turn 40.
Yeah.
Cut them now. Cut them now
Okay.
when you're
Yeah.
22.
I did one the other day.
There you go. How'd it go?
Good.
Feel pretty good? Mm-hmm. Nothing stretched?
Nope.
Not feeling it right now?
Nope.
Still feeling it. Don't do it when
so
you're 40.
sorry.
It's okay. You need to teach your kids to do it.
Yeah.
Don't back down.
Just
though.
show them
Yeah.
a video. Don't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't
maybe
try.
just show them on YouTube.
So your mom finds out you can sing. Were you singing like all the time in the like by yourself, like behind closed doors? No, not at all.
I think I had just started to sing a little bit on the piano, like maybe 5 or 6 months before that, because I started to learn how to like just chords on the piano or whatever
Sure.
instead of like the classical music.
Yeah.
So I think I had started to play a little bit on my own time, but they had never heard me sing. I would do it like when I was by myself at the house or something.
Yeah.
And then my mom hears me sing, and she's crying, and she's like, at this point they had already been planning the funeral for 2 days, and my dad's side of the family and my mom's side of the family both have really talented singers. And they had asked our cousins, aunts, uncles, people to sing, and nobody was willing to sing. They were like, we can't we won't be able to get through.
Yeah.
So she was like,
Understood, by the way.
she was
I
like,
do understand.
oh yeah,
that.
totally.
Yeah.
So she was like, would you be able to sing at the funeral? We really like, I mean, I don't want at my son's funeral, like for there not to be someone singing. Like it was breaking her heart. And so I was like, I need to pray about this. Like, I don't know if I can actually get through that. I mean, like I've never sang in front of anyone. And then you want me to sing at my brother's funeral. Like, how am I going to do that?
Yeah.
Sure.
But I felt like I was supposed to. I don't know how to explain it. I had this confidence that I was going to do it, and I did it, and I didn't cry. My sister played the piano on another song, like just a classical piece, and she couldn't even make it like a few seconds in. So yeah, I got through it, and then that was like the day I remember being on stage and knowing that I was going to do music.
Wow.
And everything changed, and that was almost 7 years ago now.
On that moment, you knew.
I knew.
Yeah.
And then I just like, the desire to like be an astronaut was just like gone.
You don't say.
And then I was like, oh, I'm going to do music. And then like started kind of leading worship at church and ended up posting a YouTube video that went viral. And that's how my previous manager found me when I was 15 and then developed me. And I started taking voice lessons. I started coming to Nashville to write songs, working with co-writers. And then I released my first song tomorrow this week makes a full 3 years since my first song ever has come out.
on.
Wow.
So only
Happy
3
first
years.
song release anniversary.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah,
only
that's a
3
big
years,
deal.
which is crazy. Just to see like how much has happened in 3 years, you know?
Yeah.
It's just crazy. So
I was looking through while I was listening to you this morning, I was looking through the co-writers and I saw you wrote with Jaron and Zach. Those are some of my dudes, man.
they're amazing.
Yeah.
Tranny was on
Tranny's up
That's
on
our
there.
girl.
Yeah, those are
that's our
some
girl.
great people. You're hanging with some quality folks
Yeah,
right there.
I know. I'm so grateful for them.
Can we talk about the 7th of June
Yeah.
a little bit? Man, what one beautiful song.
Thank you.
Really cool thing. The duck calls, all that was special. Can you walk us through that a little bit?
Yeah, that was filmed at the farm. It was like my idea and vision to film it at the farm. I had written that song, and I feel like in Christian culture, or like especially in Christian music, which is where I've started obviously my career, like a lot of people talk about like heaven and like write all these great songs about heaven and they're beautiful and like hope filled or whatever, but like I was so frustrated that there wasn't a song about reality.
Sure.
Like just like, yeah, like you have the hope of heaven, but that doesn't necessarily get you through
Make it easier
this
right now.
life,
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
however many years we have left on this side. And so I kind of got frustrated one day and I was like talking to my co-writers about it. And I was like, I'm so sick and tired of hearing people just that's all they talk about. And it's like, I want a song that's about like now, like what I'm going through right now, how hard it is on this side. Because God doesn't tell you to just like dry your tears and move on. Like that's never once said in the Bible. Like it's about like the hope of heaven, but also like dealing with the now of the grief.
1,000%.
So we wrote that song in 10 minutes. And
That's rather quick for the listener that doesn't know.
Yes, that's very
extremely
fast.
quick.
Normally it's like an 8-hour writing day.
But some of them happen like that. Like
some of
some
them
of them,
do.
you have something to say so much, and it's such a personal and true to you feeling that you're putting on pen and paper. Now it's an iPad or whatever. But like some of them can literally come to you that quick.
And the coolest part was like I had been on stage singing. They had come out on tour on the bus with me, and I had been on stage singing. And then I go into my dressing room, and I'm like taking off my makeup, and they come in my room, and they play like the start of the song. And I like literally had just like had that title, but like I didn't know they had written the song. Basically had like written half of it. And I walked in, and I was just like crying my eyes out. And then we finished it in 10 minutes, and then recorded it. And then I had the idea for the farm. So the guy I worked with, TK McCamey, like we just did this whole vision together. It was like a really hard day to get through, honestly.
Oh, I can't
Like,
imagine.
I mean, there was a lot of tears and a lot of like really sad moments. Because we were like on our farm, we were at the grave, like the actual grave, and there were all these cameras, and like that's a lot, like
Sure,
bringing people into
absolutely.
like the inner circle.
Ain't no doubt.
But we got through it, and now it's a beautiful video, and I'm so like proud of how it turned out and how it like honors my brother in that way. So
Yeah. Did you find like now looking back, did you find like a little bit of strength from that? Like
Totally.
overcoming maybe some things and
there was like a lot of healing, and too like the guy that played Jacob, like that grabs my shoulder at one part of it, he was wearing Jacob's shirt that my mom bought for him like a month before Jacob died. And so like that was really special. And then the duck calls that obviously that were my brothers. And yeah, it was like really healing and it like it felt healing in a sense just to like feel like Jacob was with me, and it felt like he was with me all day. And the pond scene with like, I don't know if you all saw that, but like me and like the reflection of my brother in the water, and like that was just really cool. So,
Wow.
yeah.
I was thinking about this, and I don't really know how to say this, but in that song, you say, you know, something about God and your brother watching you and hoping that you're proud of me, you know. Do you feel like that moment, that hardship gave you the platform, like you said, like you've been singing ever since the funeral? Like, do you think like that propelled you to where you are today?
Yeah, basically,
Yeah.
would you be doing music had that not happened, do you think?
Oh, not at all.
Really?
No.
That's powerful.
Like, I don't even like, I still don't, like, it's hard for me to wrap my head around the fact that I do this for a living still.
Same.
Like, it's like so new for me. Like, still years later, like, I'm like, wait, I really do this? Or like my manager will call and be like, hey, like, we have this huge like opportunity to write with this person. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I'm so excited. But he's like, no, like, and like this person. And I'm like, I still like have to like learn the industry, if that makes sense.
Yeah, did they say that about our podcast?
It's
or
like, no.
They didn't say that. They were like,
This is a huge deal.
You got
Ann.
this
You've got this
amazing
huge-
God's
Yeah.
Country podcast has
Wear
reached
your sparkly
out.
boots for sure.
But it's like I have to learn the industry versus like artists that grow up in Nashville, or like, you know, you're born and you're like, since the moment you can remember, you just wanted to do this. It's like, I don't have that story.
No, you want to be an astronaut.
It's like, yeah, it's something so different that I'm still like wrapping my head around it all. So I don't think I would have done it. I mean, you never know, but like, yeah, like definitely my story of like how quickly I got into it, the success of my first song, like where God's brought me is a total God story. And there's no other explanation but that. And then, yeah, I don't think I would have.
Let me ask you
done
this. How has the I mean, not necessarily transition, but how has been moving from primarily country, Christian music into like the country realm? Has it been weird at all, or it just feels like a natural flow? You haven't really had to change anything. So, I mean, really, have you?
No, I haven't. Like my first album, My Jesus, was like very country with Christian content, which God has always been a part of country music. So it feels like they kind of like go hand in hand.
No doubt.
There's just a few differences,
Yeah, for
you
sure.
know, that are different in like the songwriting perspectives and stuff. But yeah, it hasn't felt hard or anything. It's felt very natural. And like with this next album, Rebel, like I just felt like I needed, like naturally as I was growing up and maturing, it just was naturally going more country. It wasn't like this moment where I was like, okay, now I'm going to write
Now
a
I'm
country
gonna
record.
swap. Yeah.
It was just like, this is just natural how it's flowing. And it kind of just all came together really well, but it feels very natural for me. And so far it's been a really good journey. Like I feel supported by both sides.
Man, listening to that, to the 5 or 6 songs that are out on the Rebel thing, not all the songs. Well, they are out.
Yeah.
Yep. Go listen to it. God and
Came
Country.
out this
Rebel
this
yeah.
week.
That's right. It feels like, just even listening to it, to the first song on that album, Rebel, it feels like you have something to say, you know what it is, listen to this. Like that's what I like. It demanded my attention a little bit.
Yeah, stomp clappy.
Yes, absolutely, man.
Come on.
And that's cool. Is there a song on that project that like stands out to you that you know, is your favorite song on the record, or your favorite one to write, or means more to you than the other ones, or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many. There's 16 songs, which is a lot, and I love them all so much. But there's one song, "Praying Woman" with Lainey Wilson, that I really love. I love the message of it, and it feels just like a really powerful song. Songs About Whiskey is one of my favorites. There's a few. I mean, I feel like the title track "Rebel" is special to me because, like you said, it kind of like it just makes this bold statement.
Out the gate.
Yeah, that I think I was like a little hesitant at the beginning of like, what's this going to look like to write a record that's country but like so faith-based, and like me just standing firm in what I believe in. And I think that song like definitely kind of sets the tone for the
Good for
album.
No, ain't
So
no
I
doubt.
do love
Because
that
you
song.
hear, like, you see a bunch of records like, you know, Hardy, for instance, marrying country and rock and other things, country and Americana or bluegrass or whatever.
Beyonce.
Yeah, Beyonce, country and pop music. But you're coming out the gate like with something that
Hey, I don't think people say coming out the gate anymore. You gotta say something fresher.
Something fresher.
Yeah, so it just doesn't say we're old.
Okay, so from the jump.
There you go. That's
Is that
better.
fresher?
Still pretty far back, but it's closer.
From the jump. Bro, you got me, dog. I don't even, you made me lose my train of
No,
thought.
you're talking about marrying
the
faith
two.
and country.
Yeah.
Just talk good.
It's just I love our dad's a Baptist preacher. And
it has been forever.
Yeah, forever. He pastored
Still
the same
preaching.
That's
same
sweet.
church 30 something years. So it's great for me because I've always been a Christian music fan. I've always been a country fan, but especially in 2024 when you could kind of be casted as something, like a goody two shoes or whatever. That's pretty old saying. Yeah. But that it was impressive to me and inspiring to me to see you and Wilson marrying those two and putting out a record like that to say, this is what I believe in, this is what I love, this is the music I'm going to sing, this is the ground I'm going to stand on. I don't know where I was going with that, but it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Thank you so much.
I mean, as far as where I was headed, it seems like most of the time you have to play the game a little while in order to get to a place to where you can say who you really are, you know? And just coming out of the gate going, hey, this is who I am, and like it or leave it is you know, I mean, it's encouraging too as Christians,
Yeah,
us.
totally.
So
Yeah, thank you.
I think that's a good spot to be. I think you're making waves, and you should be proud of that.
Thank you.
What's your writing process like? How was I heard you mention you wrote on the road. You had a couple guys come out. You're on every track. You're a part of every song.
Yep. We wrote a little bit on the road, and then we did some writing retreats in town in Nashville last summer of 2023, and that was really where like the bulk of the songs came from, was sitting in the room together, just like no schedule, like no plan, just writing. Like some days we would write 3 songs. A writer I couldn't stand.
That you'll never write with again.
Just kidding.
Well, this time around, I put my foot down, and I only wrote with like a very small group of people.
Ooh, like
Come on.
Hey,
So I didn't want to
to
like write. I didn't want to do the whole blind dating thing, like,
Yeah.
which is great.
Yeah.
And you meet people like Jaron and Zach. I hadn't written with, so I loved that.
Yeah, they're great dudes.
There were a few that I'm like so glad I did those rights.
Yeah, there are
You know?
great people out there.
There are
Don't be super scared of it.
so
I get
amazing.
sticking to your homies.
I think it's just like the first album. I did so many like blind dates,
Oh,
but
too
then this
many.
album, like I was like, you know what? Like there's a chemistry with my writers, and I like, especially on your second album, you don't have as much time as when you did the first, obviously,
Yeah.
because I was like living my life, and then I wrote like 150 songs. For
now
the
they're like,
first
give us
album.
another one, give us another
And
one.
then now they're like, okay, we gotta go.
Yeah, we gotta do it again.
So so like this second album, I was like, you know what? Like I don't have a lot of time. I'm not gonna go spend like a year writing. Like I only have a certain window of time. I want to write with my people, and we only wrote 40 songs. We cut 16, and we're probably gonna cut like another 10
nice.
from that.
Yeah.
So like it was so much more productive.
Quantity
you
over
know?
or quality over quantity.
Totally.
Yeah.
How was doing the
but yeah.
Opry?
Oh, which Opry? All of them?
Grand Ole Opry debut in 2021.
Oh my gosh, that was amazing.
That sounds fun.
Like literally so surreal. I'll never forget that day.
Was that like a when you started singing? Was that like a dream of yours? Like, did you ever think that was even a possibility?
Yeah, so my mama, who passed away in 2014,
R.I.P. man.
my
R.I.P.
mom's
man, I
mom.
Love Mammals.
Yeah, me too. Man,
I
are the
know.
best.
the
We had a
best.
Meemaw,
They're the
but I
best.
mean, it's close enough.
You have a Meemaw?
We had a Meemaw.
Oh,
yeah.
that's so cute.
Yeah.
I love Meemaw. That's cute.
Mammals,
I can smell it
dude.
breakfast right now.
Dude, I can smell.
She's
cigarettes.
she's whipping it up in heaven,
Yeah,
dog.
dude,
She's
for
whipping it up in heaven.
She's just smoking the house. It's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
My Meemaw
fried
was
potatoes and biscuits and gravy. dude.
Oh, yeah.
Can't nobody hold it like she do.
Dude,
I
chicken
know.
and
They are the
dumplings?
best.
Ooh.
They cook the best.
They cook the best.
There's nobody like them.
Undefeated. They're
Yeah.
What'd your
undefeated.
mama make? That was awesome.
She made fried chicken. It was
I
so
bet it
good.
was gas.
It was
I bet it was
so good.
Yeah, they just.
She was
it's
amazing.
like a mammal spice they can put on.
They can't mess
I
things up.
know.
It's a weird
Yeah,
thing.
they can't mess
I
it up.
know. It's
Like my
so
dad's
good.
biscuits are killer. My mom's better than his.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like my Meemaw's biscuits,
Yeah.
next
Better than
level.
everybody's.
Yeah.
Next level, dude.
Yeah.
For sure. Sorry, your Meemaw. Dave, you're on.
So she wanted to be a country superstar her whole life.
Oh, come on.
She wanted to do country music. She was like obsessed. So she always wanted to go to the Opry, but never had the money to go. Because my mom, like, they were just, like struggled growing up, you know,
Yeah.
and didn't have a lot of money. And so my mom, like, she told me this after she passed away, but when I first debuted at the Opry, my mom was like super emotional. And I was like, Mom, like, why are you so like sad? She's like, well, my mom like always wanted to come. She always wanted to be a country music superstar. And then here you are, like the person out of the family that we would have never thought would do music because I just never wanted to.
We thought you were being
and you're getting to debut.
on Mars.
Thought you'd be
Yeah.
yeah.
And it was 4 months after my first song ever had come out. So like I literally had just started my career and they invited me to come play. And it was just like so fast and like out of nowhere. And it's still my favorite venue to play ever. Like there's something so magical about the Opry. And I think it's just like the history of all the artists that have come before and the way they make you feel. And like you just feel so welcomed in. And it's seriously like I've played there so many times now and every time is like a dream come true.
What songs did you play that first time?
We did My Jesus. We did a song called Devil. That's on my first album.
My Jesus and Devil.
And Devil. And gosh, I cannot remember the third. I think we did Maybe No Place Like Home.
What a platform to share the word. I mean,
it was
to
cool.
be like everybody dreams of that moment, stepping into that circle and playing their original song, and how incredible it is that you were able to step in there and play a song like, let me tell you about my Jesus. Like here we go.
It's cool.
That's incredible, man. That's awesome.
So you cut a couple songs with our homies. Lainey Wilson, one of them. We love her. Loved her forever.
Yeah.
We talked about it on the podcast. We actually had Jordan and Jacob on. He has a brother, Jake.
Yeah,
Jordan
yeah.
Davis has a brother, Jacob. We did like a bro podcast where basically all we did was blow duck calls and sing Tracy Lawrence songs.
Make fun of each other. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. I actually thought about a good old Tracy Lawrence quote when you were doing your rambling about how awesome it is that she's taking her stance. You know?
Yeah.
You remember that? You got to stand for something or you'll fall for anything. That's the truth, man. You got to stand for something or you fall for anything, dude. Tracy Lawrence told us. Here you are taking his advice. You should have him on a song.
How was working with Lainey and Jordan?
Amazing.
Was it?
I love them so much. I met Jordan at the ACM Honors back in August of 2023. And
Did he have his big giant
we got
beard or
to
had he
work.
trimmed it up?
He did. It was good. It was nice.
trimmed
Well,
it
it was trimmed up. Yeah.
Have you ever seen him with the scary I got some candy in my van beard?
No.
It used to be like, remember?
Yeah, his
We
beard.
When
first
was
started-
this?
Back in the day.
Back when you were born.
2015. Yeah.
He had this giant beard. I mean, it was literally like,
Oh, I haven't seen this.
you should check it out. Just
I need to go
Google
look
it.
up pictures.
It was too much. I love you. I love you, JD. But
You think it was too much?
I mean,
I feel like it was kind of his thing, and then he was like, you know what?
that's what I'm saying.
I need to like this
Yeah,
back.
I think he
Yeah.
thought it was too much a little bit. Yeah, literally and
He started
figuratively.
singles you up. He was
Right.
like, I gotta slim this. I gotta knock it back, dude. Beards, man, they're a funny thing. Like if I cut my beard off right now, I would look like I was 14.
Really?
Just no chin.
Oh man,
just
going
look-
from a bearded
I
guy
love-
that shaves clean, bro.
It's a tough thing.
Don't do it.
Thank
I
you.
wouldn't know.
I like to send a shout out to God for putting beards on dudes. I appreciate that.
I feel like Jordan's beard too is just so nicely.
Oh yeah, he's grooming the heck out of that thing.
I mean,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like perfect.
There's
It is
probably a
perfect.
hired person for Jordan that
Probably
just
to do it. Yeah. Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
I mean,
beard.
like
That's a beard.
I
That's
mean
a
like
beard.
every day. That's what I don't mean
Probably.
like just
And
before.
like, yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't trade for many beards, but I would trade for Jordans.
Not me, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Not you? Why?
No, because I'm solid.
Not even
Dude. I'm
those
10
gray,
out of 10 on
those
beard.
gray patches, that gray thing you got going on.
He gotta get somebody's brushing the
The gray out, you think?
He's got him, dude. Come see me, Jordan. I don't care. Come see me, Doc. No,
So
he's-
you were named, let's see, Opry's 2024 Next Stage Artist to Watch. Also named RIAA's Class of 2022. Pandora's Artist to Watch 2023.
Get 'em.
CMT's Next Women of Country 24.
Get 'em.
Spotify's Hot Country Artist to Watch 2024. And I'm just going to go ahead and say it. God's Country Podcast.
Yes.
podcast.
Artist to Watch 2024. We've only given that to one person.
Oh,
You're just gonna give it out to everybody that's
special.
awesome?
You're the second one. Yeah, she's We gave it to Dylan Marlowe. I don't know if you know
Oh,
that.
I love
That
him.
cat
Yeah, he's
too.
funny.
Yes.
But man, what does that feel like? Like being from Kentucky and not wanting to fly around in the spaceship to figuring out you want to do music for the rest of your life, to moving to town and getting the spotlight so quick and everything moving so fast. Like, how has that been mentally? How has that been like for you? How are you doing and all that?
It's crazy. Like, I still feel kind of like I mentioned, like, just it's surreal for me. It's been a lot to like wrap my head around. like it's like a really strange mental thing it does to you of just going like from a normal girl in Kentucky to then moving to Nashville to then living on my own, not going to college, not doing like the normal path that most like all my friends are doing, and then kind of being like in this strange place of like being a CEO at 22.
Yeah.
And like all these people technically work for you, but then like all your other friends are still in college. It's like such a weird dynamic.
Yeah,
Not a lot of things to talk about.
Yeah, and I feel like I'm on like a little bit of like an island. Like there's nobody else right now, literally no one in my age range that's doing like that's on this exact same path, or at least like, yeah, or like not being married or whatever. You know, like I have a couple friends that are in their 30s that are on this path that are married with kids.
Yeah.
But then it's like, okay, there's nobody else. It's like such a specific type of like thing. And it's kind of hard. Like I think it's like a lot to wrap my head around. And I'm grateful for my family. They're very like really involved and they just keep me grounded. They remind me of like where I came from. And then like my childhood friends too. I love that they don't, when we're together, we literally don't talk about my music. All we talk about is just like our lives or like
that's
childhood stuff.
The
and
tea,
like,
man.
Yeah.
Sure.
And they
it's
just
fun.
like, they know who I am before my music.
Yeah.
And like, that's nice to have people that like treat me the way I am for who I was. And so, yeah, I think it's a lot. It's like been a lot of like counseling and like a lot of up and down, like just figuring out how to manage it all and be like present in the moment, but then also, yeah, there's just a lot to it.
I think music does that. I think music kind of unintentionally puts you on that island, right? Because like, how am I supposed to call my buddy Cal in South Mississippi and go, man, check this song out I wrote that's got all these internal rhymes, and we had to keep it now for, it used to be 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Now they want 250, so we kept it in this 250 range. And oh man, you should have seen the way we flipped that phrase. They don't want to talk about that.
Yeah,
they don't even know what you're talking about.
They don't even understand.
Yeah, so unless you're talking to songwriters, like odds are nobody gets, even your mom and dad, like as supportive as my mom and dad are, and they try to be involved.
Yeah,
they're like,
they
yeah,
don't
sounds
get it.
great.
They're like,
Yeah.
so who'd you write with today, son? You're like, 2 people you've never heard of.
You did a good one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think music kind of.
It's so specific. And too, like in Kentucky, like nobody wanted to do music. Like none of my friends wanted to do music. They had no desire. When I signed a record deal, they literally didn't even know what that meant. And I had to like explain to like what it meant to have a record deal.
Yeah.
So it's just like you do feel like you're just like alone on this like little island, and there's like so few people that get it.
Yeah.
Which is even more important. Sorry to cut you off.
Good.
To the point that we've been talking about with you is like you're so firm in what you believe and in your ground. Like that, if you're wishy washy and you don't know what you stand for, and you'll say yes to anything, like, and you move to this town, there's a good chance it will eat you up and spit you out because it's it's just part of the process. But somebody coming in that knows what they want to say and has a firm belief system, that's important. And it's important for the team that you put around you and your support system and all of that's great.
What do you got coming up this year? Are you going out? You playing? Or you?
Yeah, I'm going out on tour. Just announced my headlining tour in the fall called the Rebel Tour.
Come
I'm
on.
so excited.
You're
That's
headlining.
Yes.
Wow,
Second headlining
congratulations.
tour. Thank you.
Yeah,
We
that's
headlined in
great.
the fall of 2023 and kind of closed up the My Jesus album. And then this is going to be the Rebel Tour. And it's going to feel so good to play like some new songs because my whole career so far has been like the same songs every night. And then now like with a new album and everything. So we're doing, I think, like 28, 30-ish cities.
Oh, wow.
What's
in the
some
fall.
places you're going? Hit
We're
us
going
with
to
some.
California. I
Sick.
love California.
Sick.
We're going to Nashville, the
Ryman.
Ryman,
Killer.
which is going to be so cool.
Have you ever played there
Headlining
before?
The Ryman, I have.
Yeah.
But to just be real, like playing at the
Be
Ryman
real.
when you're not headlining
For sure.
is not fun.
For sure.
Because the backstage is so small that there's just like, it's too much,
Yeah.
you know? So, but like headlining is going to be cool.
That'd be sick.
You know? So yeah, I'm excited.
Are you
And,
taking are you taking anybody with you?
Yes, we're taking Jordan Rowe.
Oh yeah.
Do you guys know him? I just
Yeah.
double-checked.
We've
Yeah,
written
he's
with,
great.
We've written with Jordan.
He's so sweet.
Yeah, we love Jordan.
So sweet.
And
The
his
sweetest.
thing, like what he's got going on, is really similar.
For sure.
Like Kingdom Country.
Yeah.
And it's all about God and like this country thing.
Yeah.
And I think he has like a really bright future ahead of him.
Yeah, Preacher Rowe. That's what they call him over there. Old Pastor Rowe.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah,
love
he
it.
leads a
JR's great.
men's Bible study.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
every
know.
Wednesday.
That's going to be so sweet. I'm actually really excited to have
He's
him.
great,
That'd
dude.
be
Yeah.
awesome.
Great
I
singer.
saw a video of him like reading his Bible, and I'm like, that's so precious.
Yeah. He's a
I
good
love
dude.
that.
He's a good dude. We've written
Handful of songs. with
a
him.
handful of songs with that guy.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
The new album Rebel is out. Y'all go check it
Yes.
out. Something we do on this show, kind of when we're starting to wrap up, is we do something called The One That Got Away, and it can be.
Oh wait, I gotta do the thing. I hadn't played it.
Oh yeah, I forgot we even do that. I'm sure that was important, that thing that you were trying to say, but it's that part of the show for the one that got away.
Wow, that's good.
We just made that up. We never
Yeah,
do
we've
that.
never done that
It's
before.
the first time.
I don't know if you listen to this
That's
podcast,
really
but we've
good.
Yeah,
never.
we're pretty
we've
good
never
That's
done
really
this.
good.
Yeah,
That's
fuck.
really
You know, we're
good.
songwriters.
You
We're
know,
not
if
actually
you
just
gotta
podcasts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your voice
We
is really
we
good,
dabble
by the
in
way.
it.
I mean, you'll have
thanks,
you'll have
thanks.
other records. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you'll have co-writes in the future. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That you don't know who, like people you've never written with before.
Yeah, and maybe
that-
they have good ideas.
and you should probably
Yeah,
take
maybe.
shots on those guys.
Yeah, maybe.
Those
Maybe
two,
not.
those two brother guys. And Wilson, what is do you have a one that got away for us?
I've been thinking, I mean,
It can.
there was
be
a moment.
anything.
Okay, this is not like the biggest deal in the world.
This is what
but-
everybody says.
But
It's great. Whatever it is, it's
I
great.
was at, so, you know, I'm new into country music.
Okay.
And I have all these artists that I've looked up to like my whole life
Ooh, name one.
/ new.
Who's your favorites?
Well, Morgan Wallen,
Yeah.
but I got to meet him. So, like, I'm good on that, and I love him. But I love Chris Stapleton's one of my favorites.
Come on.
And I was at the Ryman, and I kind of have kicked myself, like, quite a few. Like, I'm, like, really upset that I didn't take this moment. But we were backstage, and he, like, literally was, like, from here to here, and I didn't get a picture with him. And I, like, actually, like, acted like it was no big deal. I was with my manager, and I was like, it's fine, like, because I didn't want to bother him. I didn't want to come across as, like, a fangirl.
Yeah.
But, like, inside, I was, like, freaking out.
Hey, Chris.
Chris,
Yeah.
I'm a fangirl.
I love
could
your
you sign my
songs.
forehead?
And
Yeah.
your cowboy hat. Yeah.
And then I left, and I acted like it was no big deal. But, like, literally, I haven't even told my manager this, but every day since then, I've thought of, like, how sad I was that I didn't get a photo.
Dude,
And I didn't go say hi.
we gotta make that
Sorry,
happen.
Matt.
Yeah, we got to make that happen. We'll make that happen.
Dude, you remember that?
It made me really sad.
You should probably
What?
leave. Yeah.
How does that go? You know that?
You should probably leave. I don't know the words to that.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. He's his voice is so.
Oh man, and when he was in Steel Drivers doing the bluegrass thing, he used to play every every Tuesday and Thursdays or something.
Yeah.
Down at Station Inn.
We would go see him
wow.
all the
Like
time.
we would
That's
go see him all the
awesome.
time, and he'd just come out and sit in his chair, cowboy hat down, not say a word, and rip. I
What a
mean,
wild
for-
blow up that was too, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he was just like everybody in town.
Viral moment, man.
Knew he was like the guy,
Yeah.
and he would put records out and nobody'd care.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, the Justin Timberlake thing popped, and dude, he just went into the stratosphere, man.
Yeah, and too, like, he wasn't being played on radio.
No.
And then, like, but then was winning all these awards or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, because, I mean, yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I want to say he had like 300 cuts before anybody ever even like.
That's insane.
insane.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah.
He's a
Wow.
killer.
Talent.
He's so good.
You saying that about your one that got away? My buddy, we went to when Luke Combs played the
I
Red
love
Rocks
Luke
out in
Combs.
Denver.
He's trash, dude. He's not that great.
Him and Peyton Manning are real good friends, and so
Okay.
Peyton flew out to the show, and I guess maybe didn't fly out. I think Peyton lives in Denver or something. Peyton came to the show, and we took one of my buddies who is like the biggest Tennessee. Like,
Well, we also took our entire family.
yeah, our whole family. Yeah, but like my buddy went, one of my best friends, and he is like, I mean, from the jump of his life, it's like Tennessee football. That's all you do. And Peyton is like, idol to him. And we go side stage, and Peyton's standing over here with his wife, like
At Red Rocks.
At Red Rocks, nobody's bothering him. And Cody's standing beside me. I'm like, hey, bro, dude. I was like, now's your chance. This is the moment you've been waiting for your whole life. Go talk to me. And he was like, I can't. And I was like, wait, what do you mean you can't? He was like, it's just not right. I'm too scared. And I was like, watch, bro. I'll go say something. Because, I mean, so I went over there, talked to Peyton, told him, great quarterback, yada, yada, yada. Came back over to Cody. I was like, bro, go. This is the only opportunity you're probably ever going to get to talk to Peyton Manning. Still couldn't do it.
it's hard. in
You're
the
going to
moment.
have the opportunity to talk to Chris later.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
get a
I
picture
will.
with Chris.
Yeah,
Cody
yeah.
won't.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, see it,
Chicken
Cody.
out.
You missed yours.
Yeah, chickened out, Cody.
That truly is the one that got away from him.
No doubt. All right, now let's go into your gravorite country song.
Wow.
So gravorite. You see
And
what,
maybe
you see what
say
we
when
did
I
Yeah,
can
I
play
see what you
this
did.
time, because the last dude did like Bob Dylan or something. I was like, I'm not playing Bob Dylan. So if I can't play it, it doesn't count.
Morgan Wallen, Sand in My Boots.
Can you sing it?
How's it start?
She asked me where I was from. I said somewhere you never been to. Little town outside of Knoxville, hidden by some dogwood trees. She tried talking with my accent. We held hands and waded into that blue water. She left her flip-flops by my Red Wings on the beach.
Let's get a chorus.
Yeah, but now I'm dodging potholes in my sunburned Silverado, like a heartbroken desperado, headed right back to my roots. Something about the way she kissed me tells me she loved Eastern Tennessee. Yeah, but all I brought back with me was some sand in my boots.
You're a killer.
Yeah.
Thanks for
you so
having
much.
me,
Thanks for
guys.
coming on.
This is fun.
Yeah, this is
Glad you
awesome.
hopped
I love it
in.
hanging
It's
out with country boys.
It's always
Yeah,
fun
we
too,
are.
like because a lot of the guests we have on we know, and so it's just kind of like buddy up here,
Yeah.
telling stories that we've already heard and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So it's always fun and exciting and kind of like a little nerve wracking to have somebody sitting beside you that you've literally never seen and talked
Yeah.
to before, but. Man, I feel like we've known each other for a while now.
Aw, me
and,
too.
And you're
I love
great.
your
Your boots,
songs.
Thank
your
you.
boots are great.
We love your
Thank
songs.
you.
Dress, yeah.
We
Your
love your
songs.
story. We love your boots.
Thank y'all
Rebel
so much.
out now.
Yes.
Go spin it. Go listen to it.
Yep.
It's great. Proud of you.
Thank you.
Hey, 2 minutes. Tell me about your Jesus. Tell me about your Jesus.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I feel like growing up in the church, like there's so much about like Christianity or God or faith or whatever that like gets so, I don't know, like I feel like people just don't really understand the heart behind the gospel of who
Yeah.
Jesus is.
Yeah, the relationship part.
And and like what it means. And for me, like growing up in the church, I hated going to church and I hated sitting through sermons.
Same.
Until I realized that like Jesus wants a relationship with me. And when I realized that he actually wants to know me and it's not just about going to church and checking it off my list, but that it's about like knowing him personally and having a relationship with him, everything changed for me. And you can have that too. Like everyone
Amen.
can have that. It's like a personal relationship. It's not about, always following the rules and doing the right thing. It's like the more you know him, the more you want to live that kind of life. And there's so much freedom to it too. It's actually the opposite of the strict religious culture.
Ain't no doubt.
And it's freedom and it's your love, the feeling of being loved like you've never felt before. And
Yep.
it's like you're never going to be satisfied until you're having a relationship with the person that literally created you.
Amen.
So
He's never failed, never will. And
Yep.
Wilson, everybody.
Thanks for coming out.
Thank
Y'all go
you
listen
guys
to
for
the
having
record,
me.
spin it. She's she's awesome. Appreciate y'all hanging out in God's country. We'll catch you next time.